Black from Mouse Sports. How is it going?
Oh, going pretty good.
So right now, what we were just looking at, Alliance sitting at a 20-match win streak, going up, and that includes G1 going up against teams like LGD and IG and such like that, just completely nonstop, pulverizing. Now, albeit you did play up against a stand-in here, it was 4 out of 5 of Alliance, but one thing is that a lot of people consider Alliance to be one of the best teams in the West, if not the world. Obviously, your actions speak louder than your words, but what do you have to respond to that?
Like, you can't really talk too much about it because it was obviously a stand-in. Not to take anything away from him, he played pretty good, but it's always this synergy that's not there when it's only 4 players of a team. So I won't really take it as a big victory, but there's still the 4 other players that played really brilliant as well. So I don't know. What's this weird?
Yeah.
Because they stomped us game 2 really hard. They just showed that they're really capable of playing even with a stand-in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I mean, of course, it was a 2-for-1 there, and that, of course, like you said, the stand-in involved does make it so that it doesn't feel like a legit win. If you fought them on even ground, if you fought them full strength 5 versus 5, let's say you had a show match tomorrow and you had a few hours to prepare for it. Do you think you could take it, let's say, a best of 5? How many games would you take?
It could actually go all the way, because even Lotus said we are their nemesis. We are the team they're scared to play against or something. So I really don't know. It could either be 3-0 for them if they have this really good day where they just crush everyone, or it could be really close 3-2. I don't know. I can't really judge that because we haven't played them ever since EMS, I think.
Oh, okay. So it's been a little while. This has kind of been your refresher course in Alliance, and obviously they've made a lot of headway since then. But still a very, very big achievement to take down 4 out of the 5. And congratulations, of course, for your win of the Reaver Cup. And now I believe, actually, you guys are on top of the ranking as far as Premier League goes. So well on your way towards those playoffs. Looking pretty good. But just trying to think of other topics. Obviously, I mean, the games came down to you getting really, really farmed, Gyrocopter especially. Who's your favorite carry to play as far as when you get that opportunity to just freely farm for the first 10 or so minutes?
That would definitely be Anti-Mage.
Interesting. Is there any reason for that? Just the mobility aspect, or?
Yeah, just the mobility. Because once you're farmed, you can just pretty much control the game by yourself.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think Gyrocopter weighs in? Comparing him...
A farmed Gyrocopter, like you saw it last game, they couldn't teamfight anymore because they couldn't kill me, and they just dealt way too much damage. Once that point is reached, and you can't really win the game anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the point when I had Satanic, they simply didn't have enough damage to take me down anymore, and then it was pretty much over. And when a Gyrocopter gets that farmed, then I don't know, you just can't take teamfights anymore because the flag cannon is too OP. That concern.
Well, on that note, looking at 6.78, we see that Gyrocopter's Flakin is getting the cooldown increase from 20 to 30. Do you think that's enough to take him down a peg?
That's gonna be a huge nerf. It will not only make his teamfight presence a lot smaller, because you can obviously only use Flag Cannon once in a teamfight, but also his farming capability is shut down a lot because of that. Because I always use it when it's off cooldown, and it will obviously be a lot longer in the new patch, so I will get I don't know, maybe 90% of the farm I would get now. So all the items are pretty delayed and stuff. I haven't played the new version yet, obviously.
Okay.
Because you can't. I mean, actually, I think you can in Dota 1. Maybe I should do that to have an edge on the other carry players. But I just think it will be a very big deal, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously a lot's changing with that. Is there anything in particular that you think will really change for your all style? Is there any new strats that you guys are going to jump on? Or is it too early to tell?
Not particularly. Yeah, we have talked about the new patch, obviously, but we didn't really talk about new strategies or anything. But what's really interesting is the new Captain's mode, the new drafting pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know how it changed.
A little bit back and forth as far as bands.
Dude, I have no idea, man. I have no idea anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting. The big thing is obviously there's I think it's 1-2-1. The first series is just 2 picks for each team, so there's a first pick, the other team gets second and third, and then the first team gets fourth. So it's a little bit different there. And then also there's each team gets one ban before the last picks. So the fifth pick there is a little ban prior to that. So that's pretty interesting. You get a little pocket strategy mind games.
Yeah, that's also gonna make it pretty difficult to outpick teams because you can just ban the last hero that the other team may want to pick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, a lot of potential shutdown. Do you think that'll force you to maybe increase your hero pool a little bit? Do you think that might force you to kind of diversify your hero set?
And also because of all the nerfs and buffs, just generally you always have to be able to play all the heroes. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Because like all the buffed heroes, you know, you have to be able to play them. All the nerfed heroes are still good, so you need to increase your hero pool by like a huge amount. Like especially carry wise, there were a lot of heroes that got buffed, I think, and nerfed. But I can't remember too well, so we're just not going into detail there.
Sure, no problem. Do you think that kind of diversification of the hero pool, bringing the lower ones up and all that, is that good for Dota 2 as a whole? In your opinion?
Like, definitely for the community. For the teams, it will be pretty hard to adapt to the new like drafting pattern and the new heroes, I think. But it also makes it very possible for a lot of new strategies because there are a lot of heroes that are viable now that weren't before and stuff.
Sure thing.
We'll have to see how that works out.
Yeah, plenty of things to come once it gets the parity patch in. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of different ideas, a lot of new things to try on out. How would you judge right now, not even looking at the patch, but just as your team as a whole, right now, in this current iteration of the metagame, how do you feel you compare to what your team was previously before you picked up Synderen?
Like, we definitely got a lot stronger, which shows in our results as well. I think we have like a winning streak of like 13 or something. And just generally he adds a lot to our team because we always lacked this captain ever since Kuroki left. And he filled that gap perfectly. So we are not like throwing our advantages away like we did before he joined. And that's basically the main point why we win, because we just sustain our lead and then we just keep going and win the game by the advantage we get and make the advantage bigger instead of throwing it away.
Good fundamentals there, of course, and then improving that as a whole, your communication. I've heard Synderen as a whole, the big thing that it brings to the team, not only in drafting sense, but also in making sure everybody's communicating and very, very active on the map.
Yes. He talks a lot. He's like the guy that talks the most out of us.
Do you guys communicate in English or German?
Yeah, in English.
Okay. So,
his
one thing was Alliance picked up EGM. One of the reasons was that they wanted to talk in Swedish more frequently. Do you think you were better with a full German lineup for that reason, or?
No, like I don't think it's a big problem if you have to talk English because like everyone knows English pretty much because they have it in school. So at least the basic English should be there to play Dota with your team, you know, and communicate well. So that shouldn't be a problem and shouldn't influence anything.
Sure enough. So, obviously, hit some major milestones. Now you guys have your full invitation to Seattle. What do you expect to come out of that, especially for your fans? What do you have to say about that?
Well, honestly, I can't judge it at all, man. Like the teams now, compared like Fnatic and stuff, they're obviously on a losing streak, but they will have a boot camp. Like pretty much every team is gonna have a boot camp, so you can't really say how good or how bad they're gonna be because they will have a lot of strategies ready. Their skill will improve tremendously. I don't know, it's just gonna be a bag full of surprises, I think. And a lot of different results will come up other than people think. Like, Alliance will not necessarily be the first place, or like IG won't be like top 10 because they sucked recently. It will just be like, you can't really predict who's gonna win and who's gonna lose, because there's a lot of back and forth games.
So, you've been a member of Mousesports for quite a large period of time. Do you think that the best days are yet to come, they're ahead, or do you think that you guys kind of had a really, really good thing going for you guys in the past, and you're just trying to make up to that?
I think this international could be the point where it goes, like, over the roof, achievement-wise, because obviously last international we ended up being, like, the last place. That was pretty disappointing, so we are aiming to get at least top 8 this tournament, and that would make it a lot better than in the past, I think.
All right, well, it's obviously been a long day for both of us here, so I'm not going to keep you too much longer. One last question. kind of wrapping up the whole day here. Of your team members, other than yourself, who would you say was the MVP for today for Mouse Sports?
I think Koikwa won us 2 of our games with Silabia.
Strong
He's definitely
Silver.
the MVP in my eyes. Yep.
Cool, cool. Good to hear. Just curious. And obviously, it just comes down to, obviously, you all played great. I mean, plain and simple, you don't get this far in a best-of-1 event without just all playing individually very, very powerfully. But interesting to see your thoughts on that. Do you have any other reasons other than the Silver games?
Well, I don't need any other reasons because he single-handedly carried them himself pretty
Nice.
much. We weren't really needed as a team, so like obviously in the other games he also played really well. Guys, he's like a ticking time bomb, man. Soon he will destroy everyone.
Nice. Bash Lord, Root Gaming, all that working out for him pretty well. So.
Dude, there was Admiral Bulldog right there. We said it so many times in TeamSpeak. I was so lucky. Holy
Nice,
shit.
nice. Good stuff, good procs, and good games, obviously. As a whole, you guys played really, really well, and farming it up, taking it away. So, yeah, I'm not going to hold you any longer, but thank you so much for coming on the interview and participating all day long in this awesome little tournament here. So, of course, congratulations, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Last thing is, do you have any more shout-outs, sponsors or viewers, fans, anything?
Shoutouts to our fans, our supporters, and our sponsors, Razer, Guile, Tortec, and oh god, hey, there's one more.
Certainly is, and it's the most important one, right? It's the one that you just have to build up for. It's the tension.
Thank you. Okay, that was good. So yeah, shout out to all our fans, sponsors, and thanks for supporting us.
Alrighty, man. Well, thanks for coming on the interview, and yeah, catch you later, man.
Good thing, man. Yeah, bye bye.
Good games. See ya.